Welcome to our exploration of ethical considerations in systems biology. As this field rapidly advances, it brings with it a host of new questions and challenges. Systems biology integrates data from various biological sources using computational models to understand complex interactions. But with this power comes responsibility. Today, we'll delve into the ethical dilemmas that arise, from data privacy to the implications of genetic manipulation. We'll also discuss how researchers, policymakers, and the public can work together to ensure that scientific progress aligns with societal values. Let's begin by understanding what makes systems biology unique and why ethics play such a crucial role. Systems biology is an interdisciplinary field that focuses on complex interactions within biological systems. By combining biology, computer science, and mathematics, it seeks to model and predict how different components of life work together. This holistic approach allows scientists to see the bigger picture, moving beyond isolated experiments. However, the integration of vast amounts of data and advanced technologies also introduces new ethical questions. As we explore these, keep in mind how interconnected our scientific and ethical responsibilities have become. One of the defining features of systems biology is its reliance on big data. Researchers collect and analyze enormous datasets, from genetic sequences to environmental factors. This data-driven approach can reveal patterns and insights that were previously hidden. However, handling such large volumes of sensitive information raises concerns about privacy, consent, and data security. How can we ensure that individuals' genetic information is protected? What safeguards are in place to prevent misuse? These are just some of the ethical questions that must be addressed. When researchers use personal genetic or health data, obtaining informed consent is essential. Participants must understand how their data will be used, stored, and shared. In systems biology, where data may be reused for future studies or shared across institutions, maintaining transparency is critical. Ethical guidelines require that individuals have control over their information and that their privacy is respected at every stage of research. This balance between scientific progress and individual rights is a recurring theme in the field. The increasing digitization of biological data, security becomes a top priority. Cyberattacks and data breaches can have serious consequences, not only for individuals but also for research integrity. Systems biology projects must implement robust security measures to protect sensitive information. This includes encryption, access controls, and regular audits. Ethical considerations demand that researchers stay vigilant and proactive in safeguarding data, ensuring that trust is maintained between scientists and participants. Systems biology often involves manipulating genes to understand their functions or develop new therapies. While this holds great promise for medicine, it also raises ethical concerns. What are the potential risks of altering genetic material? Could unintended consequences arise, affecting not just individuals but entire populations? Researchers must weigh the benefits against the risks, considering both short-term and long-term impact. Ethical frameworks help guide these decisions, ensuring that innovation does not come at the expense of safety or morality. Systems biology research has dual-use potential, meaning it could be used for both beneficial and harmful purposes. For example, techniques developed to fight disease could also be misused to create biological weapons. This dual-use dilemma requires careful oversight and ethical reflection. Scientists must consider not only what can be done, but what should be done. International guidelines and regulations play a crucial role in preventing misuse while supporting positive innovation. Innovation is at the heart of systems biology, but it must be balanced with safety. New technologies and approaches can accelerate discoveries, yet they also introduce unknown risks. Ethical review boards and regulatory agencies help ensure that research protocols prioritize safety without stifling creativity. Open communication between scientists, ethicists, and the public is essential for maintaining this balance and fostering responsible progress. Systems biology leads to new discoveries and inventions. Questions about intellectual property, IP, arise. Who owns the data, models, or technologies developed in collaborative projects? How should benefits be shared among researchers, institutions, and participants? Clear IP policies are necessary to ensure fairness and encourage collaboration. Ethical considerations also include ensuring that essential discoveries, such as life-saving treatments, remain accessible to those who need them most. Open science movement encourages sharing data, methods, and results to accelerate progress and increase transparency. In systems biology, open access can foster collaboration and reproducibility. However, it also raises ethical questions about privacy, consent, and the potential for misuse. Balancing openness with protection of sensitive information is a key challenge. Ethical guidelines help researchers navigate these complexities, promoting both innovation and responsibility. Equity is a fundamental ethical principle in systems biology. Research should benefit all segments of society, not just a privileged few. This means considering the needs of underrepresented populations and ensuring that studies are inclusive. Ethical frameworks encourage diversity in research teams and study participants, helping to reduce bias and improve the relevance of findings. Equity also extends to access, making sure that new technologies and treatments are available to everyone, regardless of background. Engaging the public in discussions about systems biology is essential for building trust and understanding. When people are informed about the goals, methods, and potential impacts of research, they can contribute valuable perspectives. Public engagement also helps ensure that ethical considerations reflect societal values. Researchers can use forums, workshops, and outreach programs to foster dialogue and address concerns, making science more transparent and accountable. Ethical review boards, also known as institutional review boards, IRBs, play a critical role in overseeing systems biology research. They evaluate study protocols to ensure that ethical standards are met, focusing on issues like consent, risk, and benefit. These boards bring together experts from diverse backgrounds to provide balanced perspectives. Their oversight helps protect participants and maintain public confidence in scientific research. Systems biology is a global endeavor, with researchers collaborating across borders. International projects can accelerate discoveries and address complex challenges. However, they also introduce ethical complexities, such as differing regulations, cultural values, and standards of practice. Successful collaboration requires mutual respect, clear communication, and shared ethical guidelines. By working together, scientists can ensure that research benefits humanity as a whole. Ethical considerations in systems biology must account for cultural differences. What is acceptable in one society may not be in another. Researchers need to be aware of local customs, beliefs, and values when designing and conducting studies. This sensitivity helps prevent misunderstandings and ensures that research is respectful and inclusive. By embracing cultural diversity, systems biology can produce more relevant and impactful results. Transparency is a cornerstone of ethical research. In systems biology, this means clearly reporting methods, data sources, and potential conflicts of interest. Transparent reporting allows others to evaluate, replicate, and build upon findings. It also helps prevent misconduct and fosters trust within the scientific community and with the public. Ethical guidelines encourage openness at every stage of the research process. Conflicts of interest can arise when researchers have personal or financial stakes in the outcomes of their work. In systems biology, where industry partnerships are common, managing these conflicts is essential. Disclosure and transparency help ensure that research remains objective and credible. Ethical review boards often require researchers to declare any potential conflicts, promoting integrity and accountability. Systems biology studies involve animal models to understand complex biological processes. Ethical guidelines require that animal research is justified, humane, and minimizes suffering. Alternatives should be considered whenever possible. Oversight committees review protocols to ensure compliance with ethical standards. By prioritizing animal welfare, researchers demonstrate respect for life and maintain public trust. Protecting human subjects is a top priority in systems biology research. This includes obtaining informed consent, minimizing risks, and ensuring confidentiality. Ethical review boards evaluate studies to safeguard participants' rights and well-being. Researchers must also be sensitive to vulnerable populations, providing additional protections as needed. These measures help maintain ethical standards and public confidence. Systems biology research can have environmental implications, especially when it involves genetic modification or large-scale experiments. Ethical considerations include assessing potential risks to ecosystems and biodiversity. Researchers must follow regulations and best practices to minimize negative impacts. Environmental stewardship is an important aspect of responsible science, ensuring that progress does not come at the expense of the planet. Ethical decision-making in systems biology must consider not only immediate outcomes, but also long-term consequences. Innovations may have unforeseen effects on health, society, or the environment. Researchers are encouraged to think ahead, anticipate potential risks, and develop strategies to mitigate them. This forward-thinking approach helps ensure that scientific advances are sustainable and beneficial for future generations. Artificial intelligence (AI) plays a growing role in systems biology, analyzing complex data and generating predictions. While AI can accelerate discoveries, it also raises ethical questions about transparency, bias, and accountability. How are algorithms developed and validated? Are they fair and unbiased? Researchers must ensure that AI tools are used responsibly and that their limitations are clearly communicated. Bias can enter systems biology research through data selection, model design, or interpretation. This can lead to inaccurate conclusions or reinforce existing inequalities. Ethical guidelines emphasize the importance of diverse datasets and rigorous validation. Researchers must be vigilant in identifying and correcting bias, ensuring that findings are reliable and applicable to all populations. Communicating research findings responsibly is an ethical obligation. Systems biology discoveries can have significant social and medical implications, so accuracy and clarity are essential. Researchers should avoid exaggeration or misrepresentation, providing balanced information to the public and policymakers. Responsible communication builds trust and helps ensure that science serves the common good. Ethical considerations should be integrated into the education and training of systems biologists. This includes teaching students about responsible conduct, data management, and the societal impacts of research. Ongoing training helps researchers stay informed about evolving ethical standards and best practices. By fostering a culture of ethics, the field can continue to grow responsibly. Regulatory frameworks provide the legal and ethical boundaries for systems biology research. These include national and international laws, guidelines, and standards. Compliance is essential for protecting participants, ensuring data integrity, and maintaining public trust. Researchers must stay informed about relevant regulations and adapt their practices as needed. Strong frameworks support ethical innovation and accountability. Real-world research often presents complex ethical dilemmas. For example, what should researchers do if a study reveals unexpected health risks for participants? How should conflicting interests be managed? Case studies and scenario analysis can help scientists prepare for these challenges. By learning from experience and seeking guidance, researchers can navigate ethical dilemmas with integrity. Ethical systems biology research should aim to benefit communities, not just individuals or institutions. This means considering the broader social, economic, and health impacts of discoveries. Engaging with community leaders and stakeholders can help identify priorities and ensure that research addresses real needs. Community benefit is a key measure of ethical success. Funding sources can influence research priorities and outcomes. Transparency about who funds systems biology projects is essential for maintaining credibility and avoiding conflicts of interest. Researchers should disclose funding sources and ensure that financial support does not compromise ethical standards. Open funding practices build trust and support responsible science. Collaboration is central to systems biology, but it also presents ethical challenges. Partners may have different values, expectations, or standards. Clear agreements and open communication are essential for successful and ethical collaboration. Researchers should establish shared goals, respect differences, and resolve conflicts constructively. Ethical collaboration strengthens research and fosters innovation. Sharing data is vital for progress in systems biology, but it must be done ethically. Researchers need to balance openness with respect for privacy and consent. Data sharing agreements can clarify expectations and responsibilities. Ethical data sharing promotes collaboration, reproducibility, and trust while protecting participants' rights. Publishing research findings is a key part of the scientific process. Ethical publication practices include accurate reporting, proper attribution, and avoiding plagiarism. Researchers should also consider the potential impacts of their work and communicate responsibly. Open access publishing can increase the reach and impact of discoveries, but must be balanced with ethical considerations. Peer review is essential for maintaining quality and integrity in systems biology research. Ethical reviewers provide constructive feedback, respect confidentiality, and avoid conflicts of interest. The process should be fair, transparent, and focused on improving science. By upholding high standards, peer review supports ethical and reliable research. Commercializing discoveries from systems biology can bring benefits, such as new therapies or technologies. However, it also raises ethical questions about profit, access, and equity. Researchers and companies must ensure that commercialization does not compromise ethical standards or limit access to essential innovations. Balancing profit with public good is a key challenge. Patents can protect intellectual property and encourage innovation, but they also raise ethical concerns. Should life forms or genetic sequences be patented? How do patents affect access to treatments or technologies? Ethical guidelines help navigate these questions, ensuring that patents serve the public interest and do not hinder scientific progress. Deciding which projects receive funding is an ethical issue in itself. Funding priorities can shape the direction of systems biology research, influencing which problems are addressed and whose needs are met. Transparent and inclusive decision-making helps ensure that funding supports projects with the greatest potential for positive impact. Communicating risks associated with systems biology research is an ethical responsibility. Researchers must provide clear, accurate, and balanced information about potential hazards and uncertainties. Effective risk communication helps the public make informed decisions and supports trust in science. Ethical guidelines emphasize honesty and openness in all communications. Transferring technology from research labs to real-world applications involves ethical considerations. Researchers must ensure that technologies are safe, effective, and accessible. Technology transfer agreements should address issues of ownership, benefit sharing, and public interest. Ethical technology transfer maximizes the positive impact of scientific discoveries. Using data can accelerate research, but it also raises ethical questions about consent and privacy. Participants may not have agreed to all future uses of their data. Researchers must obtain appropriate permissions and ensure that data reuse aligns with ethical standards. Transparency and respect for participants' wishes are essential. Developing algorithms for systems biology requires careful ethical consideration. Algorithms must be transparent, validated, and free from bias. Researchers should document development processes and ensure that algorithms are used appropriately. Ethical algorithm development supports reliable and trustworthy science. Citizen science projects invite the public to participate in systems biology research. While this can democratize science and increase engagement, it also raises ethical questions about consent, data quality, and participant protection. Clear guidelines and oversight help ensure that citizen science is conducted responsibly and ethically. Synthetic biology, a branch of systems biology, involves designing and constructing new biological parts or systems. This cutting-edge field offers exciting possibilities but also significant ethical challenges. Concerns include safety, environmental impact, and the potential for misuse. Ethical guidelines and oversight are essential for guiding responsible innovation in synthetic biology. Personalized medicine uses systems biology to tailor treatments to individual patients. While this approach can improve outcomes, it also raises ethical questions about privacy, access, and equity. Ensuring that personalized medicine is available to all and that data is protected is a key ethical challenge for the field. Data visualization helps make complex systems biology data understandable. However, visualizations can be misleading if not designed carefully. Ethical guidelines encourage accuracy, clarity, and honesty in presenting data. Researchers should avoid manipulating visuals to exaggerate findings or mislead audiences. Responsible visualization supports informed decision-making. Systems biology continues to evolve. Ethical considerations must remain at the forefront. From data privacy to global collaboration, the challenges are complex but essential to address. By fostering a culture of responsibility, transparency, and inclusivity, researchers can ensure that scientific progress benefits everyone. The ethical roadmap for systems biology is a shared journey. one that requires ongoing dialogue, reflection, and commitment from all stakeholders. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of ethics in systems biology.